yeah, so where did I leave off? So having the conversation around being intentional with the way that you live your life and how to start doing that a bit more effectively. I was having this conversation with a friend today on the power of being a digital nomad, traveling continuously. And basically, when we're in one location, let's say you grow up in a small town and you are surrounded by people who know you, they know your whole upbringing, they get a very structured, very clear idea of who you are, right? They have an image, a representation of you in their mind. And that can be very cool, that can be very useful, but it can also mean that you get locked in by people's preconceptions of you. And when it comes to wanting to make a change, if you're, perhaps you're a stoner, you like to party a lot, and you have this reputation as being the party boy or the guy who just gets wasted 3 or 4 times a week, and all of a sudden you want to become like healthy. And it sounds strange, it seems crazy that anybody would kind of resist you improving your life, but people do. People get really resistant towards anybody changing the frame, like if you go and start getting healthy, you no longer go out drinking, you'll have people complaining, obviously friends, mates, who have a preconception, an idea of who you are in their eyes, and they will be really unhappy that you're starting to break that mold, break out of the mold that is your past self. And I think we all feel that when we're trying to make a change in our lives. We feel the pressure to conform to past versions of ourselves by our friends and our family and the people that are around us who have known us. And that's why I think a lot of people don't change. A lot of people stay stuck in that mold because they're too afraid to ruffle any feathers, too afraid to be seen as someone new, someone different. And it's such a shame, and this is the beauty of travel, and this is why when you do go traveling, all of a sudden you're freed from all of these preconceived notions of who you are. You're able to take on, to like put on a new identity without that feeling of having to break somebody's preconception of you. And which is also part of the reason why when you go back home after traveling a lot and you've done all this, you've had all of these new iterations of yourself, and after going through all of these changes and becoming a new person, a new version of yourself, you go back to a past environment and you'll feel out of place, but people will also want to draw you back into the box that they used to have you stuck in. Like they have an understanding of you, and rather than adapt and adopt the new version of you, they would rather put you back into the box so that they can understand you. And I've experienced this myself when I went traveling for the first time. I went overseas when I was 18 from New Zealand to Europe. And I was only overseas for 2.5 months. But when I came back, I was a different person because all of a sudden I'd been in a space where I was allowed to grow. I no longer had these restrictions, these shackles put on me by the environment that I'd grown up in, by the people that I'd grown up with. But when I came back home, people didn't understand me. They didn't, and it wasn't that they didn't want to understand me, right? There's an element of not wanting to adjust your families, your friends' not willing to update their understanding of you, but rather wanting to put you back into the box that they understand. Hello, Yudiyanto. Sorry, I've got to butcher these names. The YouTube names are always good fun. So the power of traveling, and certainly the power of being a digital nomad, where basically your constantly changing environment means that you can actually constantly reiterate or iterate yourself, right? So rather than, let's say you move from one town to the next. Well, if you're in a new town, you have an option to update yourself. But if you stay in that place long enough, years at a time, then people know you for something. They get used to you, and they will create this identity of you. And so you get kind of stuck in the mold again. Well, if you're a digital nomad and you're traveling all around and you're only staying a few months in each place, then you never get it. You never get stuck, right? People never have long enough to build up a preconceived model of who you are, a preconceived identity of who you are. So you're always free to develop yourself, to grow, to change. And this just opens up so many, obviously it opens up the opportunity for growth. But what does that really mean? Well, that means that you get to experiment with you as a person, with you as the self. You get to try on like new outfits. You get to try on new ways of being. So for example, that maybe in your hometown you grew up and you were shy, and that became kind of the identity that people knew you by. And when you go traveling, maybe you decide no, I'm no longer going to be shy. Now, if you stayed at home, it's much harder to change that, because people just expect you to be the shy person, and you feel that pressure. But Diedrich, I'm in Vietnam at the moment, on the beach here in Da Nang, Vietnam. And so yeah, when you go traveling, all of a sudden you can go, okay, I'm gonna now talk more confidently, for example, right? You decide there's a new behavior, a new way of thinking and behaving that you want to test out. Now, you might decide that fits more closely with who you want to be, or maybe not. But because you're traveling, because you're a digital nomad now and you're moving around, you can keep trying different things. Yeah, you should definitely come to Vietnam. Vietnam is amazing. I was here last year for 3 months. Also here in Da Nang primarily, but also up in Hanoi. And thanks, man. Thanks, Diedrich. Appreciate it. Yeah, Hanoi, Da Nang in Vietnam is just an amazing place to be. The people are super friendly. It's very affordable. The food's great. You do sometimes have to deal with food poisoning if, like me, you're not particularly careful with where you eat. But it's an amazing place to be. Is Da Nang the best city there? For me, yes. I think it depends on what you want. If you're the kind of person who really wants to be maybe you're kind of more a party animal, and you want to be in a really big city, then Da Nang's maybe not the place. But if you like a really good mix of beach, sea, obviously you can see the sea in the background here, the beach that I'm on. It's an amazing place to be. It's got a really good balance of digital nomad life, a lot of expats, a lot of foreigners. If you like that, I like that. I like to be around other like-minded people, that are building businesses, traveling, just really wanting to experience life. I really value that. And there are a lot of people like that here. But then you've got a big city here. There are, I can't remember how many people here in Da Nang, but it is a big city. It's not just a little village or town. So you can get access to whatever you want, really. You have the small it also has a kind of like a village feel, because you walk around in this part, which is like Antong area, where all of the expats and digital nomads are. And you bump into people that you know all the time. And I really like that. I like the fact that you can walk down the beach and say hi to three friends. You can go and sit in a co-working cafe and have a friend of yours who's sitting across from you. There's also a lot of, if you're single, there are a lot of single people here, which is pretty cool. But it also works really well if you are in a relationship, or even if you've got a family. It works really well. So yeah, I'd say Da Nang for me is the best place to be. But yeah. Anyway, I was talking about. Oh yeah, the great thing about traveling places like Da Nang is that you get to break out of the mold of who you are. You get to like actually start working towards being more than you are. I think that is the power in travel in general, but it just lowers the friction. It lowers the friction for change if you're able to get out of an environment that you've grown up in, where it's just there's all of these expectations, all of these preconceived notions, this old identity, this old version of you. Get out and travel and start to become more than you currently are. Now, when it comes to see, for example, I was talking about meeting friends. I know a friend over here. Hello. I'm live streaming. Can't welcome me over. It's alright. Nobody's watching at the moment. They all left.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
It's Joel.
Hey, Joel.
Hey, bro. Hi.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, hi. Nice to meet you.
He's very funny. His girlfriend is also very funny. Sorry, she's funnier than you, but she is.
Where are you from?
New Zealand.
But she's German.
My husband's from, like, Christian's parents are from New Zealand. He just got his citizenship.
All right.
Where are
Yeah,
you
we
from?
love
There, I'm
New Zealand.
hearing American, North American accent.
North American, not American.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be
Kiwis
careful.
are like Canadians.
Yeah, exactly. I have to be careful. I've said, oh, you sound American, and then somebody's like, I'm Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian.
My bad.
Start with Canadian, then go back to
That's
American.
probably the safest way. Yeah.
But you know, if they're really
Tennessee
American.
in the end, then it's just
Yeah, like a redneck accent. Isn't it?
Oh my god, I love Kiwis. Is your girlfriend a Kiwi?
No, she's German.
Ah,
Yeah.
I love Germans.
I know. They're a rough patch to rough bunch to deal
Oh my
with.
god, we were just in New Zealand a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were there also 2018 doing a little camper van excursion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, North-South Island. This time we went for a mystery school.
A mystery school.
Yeah, you don't even know about it.
No, it's such a mystery.
It was in the North Island, North Palmy. North Palmerston? Palmerston North?
Oh, Palmerston North. I was like North Palmy.
North Palmy, that's what they call it. But anyways, it's just like the most random place to have it. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
No one ever goes to New Zealand, goes to visit this place. But
Yeah, Palmerston North is like my grandma lives there now, and an auntie of mine lives there.
Right, it's like who goes to
Yeah, it's like that.
It's like a suburb that no one ever. Anyways, that's where it was. But that's where we were when we were visiting. It's
Oh,
so
cool.
amazing.
Julia doing better.
She's still a bit rough. Like, she's better.
She go to the doctor.
No, she hasn't yet, but
And
yeah.
just make sure that she doesn't have something's just settled in there, some
Stomach
fucking
stuff?
bacteria or something.
Yeah, something. She's had like food
some
poisoning for a few
parasite.
days now.
Do you have coconut activated charcoal?
We've got she's been taking charcoal. Well, I don't know if it's activated.
It needs to
It's
be
charcoal.
activated
It's charcoal tablets.
Okay, it's
Is there-
probably activated charcoal.
Okay, is there a difference? I mean, she's not
Yeah.
gnawing on like a piece of burnt wood or anything. She's
Well,
got
it's
like the actual.
pieces of charcoal.
Yeah, no. She's taking charcoal tablets.
Okay, so it's probably activated because
Yeah.
it has to have a specific charge and it pulls out and it binds to things and pulls it out.
Oh, is that why it works?
It's activated so it's ionized or something so
But
that
it's
the
basically just drawing the water out, right?
no, it's drawing because the bacteria or the pathogen is negatively charged and then this is positively charged and it goes and it pulls it out.
And learn something new every day.
So if you just eat charcoal, it's not. I think there's this process that the charcoal goes through that makes it chart in a way that is opposite to whatever pathogens are.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she went to the pharmacy. It was like, just give us everything. She was taking some antibiotics as well, as was I.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know.
The problem here is they describe it for everything.
No.
Yeah, no.
Now she needs.
These
now
are
she
ones.
needs to re-inoculate her gut.
Yeah, I mean, these antibiotics that we got given were ones that a friend of ours from the States was prescribed by his doctor for food poisoning.
No, I don't mean that's not the problem. They're good antibiotics, but they overprescribe
Oh,
them
yeah.
like crazy. For everything.
They didn't
You
want
ever
to.
stopped, oh, you need antibiotics. I mean,
They didn't want to
prescribe
prescribe them, but
Oh,
it was
really?
the third time round that we've had food poisoning, and I was just like, "Fucking give me them!"
Okay.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want to wait with the other medication because I was taking other stuff as well.
How do they know
'Cause
it's not parasites?
Don't.
They don't.
Yeah. I got better. We'll see. You know.
Okay.
What do you treat parasites? Love this is live streamed at the moment. But
So
So what are
let's
we
see.
going to do about the parasites? Are you
Parasite
rubbing your
cleanse.
asshole on the sand like a dog?
Are you gonna repost this later?
yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay. Well, there's a lot
Nobody
of
will
things
watch
you can
it,
do about parasite cleanses.
Yeah, what do you usually
First of all,
take?
you would need to know if it's a parasite or not. I have to say. I think first it's like knowing what is the issue. Is it a bacteria? Is it
Yeah.
a fungus? Is it a parasite? Because parasites live in a lot of meat. Are you guys eating meat?
We are eating meat here.
Okay. What's
Um,
meat? Like fully cooked?
Yeah, no sushi or
Okay.
medium rare steaks or anything like
Okay.
that. I can't remember what she had.
Do you know what triggered it? Like what?
Yeah, what
Because sometimes it can be lettuce and like greens.
Yeah, she the thing is that she got sick after eating at a place that we usually eat at, and it's usually fine. So, but then that's been the case for a lot of the time.
What did she eat that night?
It was like a rice bowl with chicken and
So it's
tofu
probably
and stuff.
E. coli.
I think. Could be.
That sounds like E. coli.
I mean, E. coli is basically everything.
No. But
as
that's why I'm
soon-
asking what
Yeah.
it is. Usually chicken carries that bacteria.
Yeah, but I mean, E. coli you mostly actually get from people who had food just
Shit.
not really.
It's
really
because
washing
people
it.
don't
Yeah.
wash their hands, but also
So there's so
chicken.
much E. coli.
I mean, the chicken the chicken was definitely cooked because it's like shredded chicken, but yeah, it's possible. I don't know. She's doing better. She was having, but she was just complaining again that
Did
like
you tell
she's
her
still
that
not doing that.
it goes until next weekend? We have to put her down.
I'll tell her. I'll let her know. Sven said.
That's how we do it in Germany.
That's
you,
it, yeah.
You should know.
Sorry.
I don't do antibiotic stuff. I do mostly homeopathic stuff.
Yeah. We do usually as well.
Yeah.
But
Do you?
gets a bit.
The homeopathic stuff is very hit or miss. You have to like really know what it is and really know what to get it with.
Because I got sick at the same time, or I got sick before she got sick, but we've been sick, on and off sick a few times since being here in the last month. And
Jurek and Olga had basically exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Passing back and forth and shit.
yeah. So
You know-
and
you know
sometimes
what
it's
it
the
is?
food, but then sometimes it's nobody washing their hands. People are not washing their hands. The utensils.
Shouldn't be covered. No, that's really what it is.
It's a bug.
Stop eating food out. Like
Last-
me and Christian cook all our food and we've been fine.
The last year we were here for 3 months and we didn't get, except for me getting probably a reaction to lobster. Apart from that, we were fine. Neither of us got sick. And then this time around, it's just been like bang,
I find
bang,
it
bang.
hard. I mean, I have this theory because like you get here like people getting the sniffles or some sort of fucking all of this, and it always goes around. And I think it's just the hygienic standards here are just horrible.
Yeah.
So you always get these things every year, like 2 or 3 things that just go around and around and around. And then the next season you fix it.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's just because I mean, have you seen these people? They just sneeze in your face. Whatever.
They don't care.
Yeah, never has a chance to die. It's funny, I was just talking to the live stream, somebody asked like, oh, is Da Nang the best city in Vietnam? Yeah, Da Nang's an awesome
there you
place to
go.
go. You should. And now it's like,
Is it?
we're all sick. Everybody's
You
sick.
can get sick anywhere.
Yeah.
Really.
But it was kind of funny because I was also literally saying like, oh, I really like the fact that you can walk down the beach and you can see friends as you just bump it in. And then literally I was like, it's fucking Sven.
How do you know Sven?
Yeah. But anyway, I'll leave you guys to it. How come you're so far down the beach?
Oh, I'm both here with the bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
I
usually come down
live in a bit. I live maybe 3-minute drive in.
Oh,
and
okay.
We just came down a little further to meet me because I'm like, it's too busy over there. I love this part of the beach because there's so much space.
Yeah, I mean, it's so empty. Like, up until a couple of days ago, I'd never really been down here. I was just like, oh, I'll go for a walk down here, but
Also,
otherwise,
this path, I love walking this path because I can actually put my feet on grass that I don't feel like, oh, this is gross grass. It's very well taken care of because these are very expensive resorts.
Yeah, is this also Furama or is this a different one?
Yeah, that's Furama.
That's Furama, okay.
I think just that way is the Furama. But yeah, I just like this path feels so quiet and like peaceful.
So you parking at the beginning?
I parked at the beginning. Did you park here?
I should park at the beginning because I didn't know if I could come. But there are bikes there.
There are bikes there, but it says no bikes allowed, so I just parked it.
Your bike probably won't be there when you get back.
Really?
I did actually, after the fucking Nomad Party opening thing, I looked for my bike for like 20 minutes because they put it somewhere else.
They move. That's a bugger, eh?
So now I have an air tag in there.
That's smart. I need to do that because I went to the Hoi An. So like right before the dance on Saturday, we went to Hoi An. You're not supposed to have your bike in there, but we found an alley. We parked it.
Yeah, they're terrible in Hoi An.
They literally just 5 minutes later, it's gone. I'm like, did anybody see where my bike went? And I was like, no, I don't know. And then one girl was like, go to the turn right and go, and it was there. And they're like, they hijacked our helmets so that we couldn't just get on the bike and go. We had to pay them.
Oh, really?
20,000
okay.
to get our helmets back. They're like, no. It's like,
Sneaky
you
little
stole my
bugger.
bike.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't park your bike in the market anywhere. But AirTag is such a smart idea.
On my bike, it's rented and it's got an air tag in it from the rental company.
really?
So yeah, I
Oh.
keep getting a reminder for an air tag following you around. Yeah. Well, I would be. I mean, they kind of needed to because they didn't give me any sort of contract or anything. Like I didn't sign anything. It's just like, here's the bike, pay the money. Good luck to you. It's like, okay. I like that. It's nice and relaxed here. You know, go to Germany, you've got to sign like a 100-page
I mean,
document.
the downside is insurance.
Yeah.
That bike is gone, you're paying for it.
They've only got a very small deposit of mine, so
But we also get a run.
yeah.
Didn't they copy passport or anything?
They did.
Because if they did, you're not going to be able to leave the country.
Copy of the
I think they took a copy of the passport.
So if they have the copy, then it's going to give us immigration. You're not be able to.
You're like, until you pay that fee.
Yeah. I don't know. But they were pretty good. I got a puncture in the tire and they replaced the entire tire. Brand new, so pretty good. Yeah. All right, I'll leave it to your evening. Enjoy.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Wife or partner?
Fiance.
Fiance.
Wife to be.
Men can walk around still free for like however long without a ring on.
Not very long, it's like 17 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. The reason I'm getting up and going is.
She has a ring on, probably,
Yeah.
but like men can like
She does.
still flaunt their freedom for a bit. You know?
Oh, well, I don't have a ring for that purpose, but I do have a ring, and then people automatically assume that I'm married anyway. So
But it's on the wrong hand.
depending on which country you're in.
Oh. Or depending
Yeah.
if it's a man or a woman. You know.
Yeah, but I think in Germany, this is the hand for men.
Really?
No, I
Right
think
hand?
men and women, I think, are on the left.
It's certainly a country that.
I'm not married. What the fuck do I know? But I think that's
I know that some people have asked me like, "Oh, are you married?" Nope, single. I mean, a relationship. Single-ish. All right.
Bye.
Enjoy. See ya. So that was a cool example of literally what I was just talking about 10 minutes ago on the stream, which is the cool thing about Da Nang that I like is that you can walk down the beach and literally bump into people that you know. And I'm walking down a part of a beach that there aren't that many people around. I mean, like not compared to up the other end where I typically am. And I still bump into somebody that I know. So if you really like your privacy, I suppose that's not the best. But then again, if you really like your privacy, just don't make any friends and then you can walk around freely and won't have to bump into anybody. So, you know, there are ways around it. But yeah, so I really like that. I really like the fact that you can walk down, chat to somebody briefly on the beach that you know, that you've hung out with and had dinner with, and then carry on. And the other cool thing that I love, like the fact that food here cost of living is so affordable is that you can go for dinner, invite people out for dinner all the time, go for coffee dates and dinner dates and lunch dates, and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. So yeah, lots of benefits. Now, as we were talking about the fear of visibility, I wanted to kind of stay on that subject just because it's one of the fields of work that I'm so interested in. So that's the selfish part of why I talk about this sort of stuff. So I love it. It's very, very cool to me. But also, it's such a valuable thing to learn, to work on, right? To free yourself from the judgment of others. Well, you don't free yourself from the judgment of others. You free yourself from the fear of judgment of others. And when you do that, it just it opens up the world to you. It opens up so many opportunities to you, because all of a sudden you can be whoever you want to be, and you can make content, and you can create stuff, and you can put it out there, and whether it works or not, you're not concerned about looking stupid because you don't care. And I'm like, when I think about my journey to this point, like I'm not completely there. I haven't freed myself from the fear of judgment or anything like that, but I have made significant strides in the right direction. And I can see that now. For example, I'm walking down the beach. Now, while there aren't that many people here at the moment, I still never would have done this. I never would have created a live stream where I'm talking to you, wonderful strangers on the internet. I never would have walked down a crowded beach talking out loud about my thoughts and my feelings and my ideas. But now I can. And not only can I do that, but I enjoy it. And that's the great thing. I actually enjoy being able to do this now. And I enjoy it because I no longer care what others think. Or at least I no longer care so much. No longer care as much as I used to. And it's very liberating, very freeing. But also, when you free yourself from the fear of judgment of others, there are a whole lot of other areas in your life that this can then positively impact. Like, for me, one of the things that one of the things that my past self has been very afraid of is judgment and criticism and ridicule, and being even more specifically than that, being told off. Like I could never stand being told off by whether it was teachers or a boss. This is why I'm an entrepreneur now, and I've always worked for myself. It's because I couldn't stand working for somebody else and being told off. So I just created a situation and a scenario for myself where that wasn't a possibility. Now, of course, I have to deal with clients, of course, and I care deeply about the clients that I work with, so it's not really an issue. I always deliver, but that fear of criticism and being told off, that stems from my childhood, some past experiences. I once, it still comes to mind, in kindergarten, I said something in kindergarten that I shouldn't have. I don't remember, but we had an old school kindergarten teacher, a lady who even back then was, white-haired and sort of grandmother sort of look, but she washed my mouth out with a bar of soap because of what I said. I don't remember what I said, but I do remember that traumatic experience and the multiple attempts that followed to run home, followed by like making a break for it out the kindergarten gates and trying to run home, which as an adult was not that far away, but for I don't know how old I was, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, it was definitely not a journey I could manage, and I didn't even know where it was, where home was from there. But I remember that traumatic experience. I remember crying and the taste of soap and all of the details that went along with it. And I think that is what strongly contributed to the fear that I now have, or the fear that I did have of criticism and judgment and being told off, being told I've done a bad job. And so, but by doing this kind of work, by confronting the fear as opposed to running away from it, by working to become more confident and comfortable with the judgment of others, and not even the judgment, but the visibility, the vulnerability that comes with being visible and sharing and showing yourself to others, getting more comfortable with being that person that does that, has led also to being more, what would you say, like more confident and comfortable in other situations, for example, where I might be criticized for doing a bad job or, not meeting expectations. And that's kind of what it comes down to is, when we think about, oh, you did a bad job, really what we're talking about is you didn't meet the expectation that was set. And I used to be very nervous or very, very afraid of not meeting the expectations. I think many of us, maybe you have also experienced that. So it helps a lot. It helps a lot to do that kind of work, to start actively engaging with the things that frighten you. And you can do that by, exposure therapy is one of the most powerful ways of doing this. Now, if the thing that frightens you is too much to handle as a whole, then you break it down. You break it down into small steps and see, okay, what can I manage? What would be a step in the right direction? Whew, I'm getting sweaty. What would be a small step in the right direction? One part of this fear that I could manage, that I'd be willing to tackle. And you just start there because you can build on top of it. And it doesn't matter how small it is. I think we all have an ego and think like, oh, I should be able to confront this challenge without as much, difficulty as I currently have. But if you leave your ego out of it and just accept that you have to start where you are right now, then you can, hello, new viewer, just talking about fear. And so if you can leave your ego aside for a moment and accept that you have to start where you are with what you have, with the capability that you have, then you can start small, and you can start as small as you need to, because improvement isn't linear, it's exponential. So you might start small and you can feel like, oh, well, at this rate, it's going to take me forever to overcome this fear, fear of visibility or social anxiety, whatever it might be, fear of judgment. But you start small, and the rate doesn't stay small. The next time maybe the next time it will just be a little bit more, and the next time after that it'll be a little bit more. But the time after that it will be a lot more, and the time after that it'll be even more. So you start improving at faster and faster rates, and by doing that you will rapidly change your own self-concept, your own self-perception, and you'll really be able to transform into somebody who you didn't even recognize a few months ago. If you actively engage with the challenge, if instead of running away from fear, you decide, no, I'm capable of handling this, at least to some extent, and you get started with that challenge. And I think that taking that attitude and that mindset to life, man, you just start tackling bigger and bigger challenges. Like, it starts really small and it can feel quite pathetic, and you can feel quite useless when you start because you're not that capable right now. But you can be amazingly capable if you trust the process, and you can really transform your life in a very short period of time if you have the humility to start small. And so all I would say, and I don't say this, I'm not trying to preach, I say this because I've been in that position. I've been in the position where I felt like, oh, I should be able to handle much more than this. Oh, I'm too good to, I don't know, deal with this small issue that I'm facing. And so I would ignore it, because to confront it was humiliating in some respect. But with that attitude, you just end up avoiding avoiding the areas where you need to grow. And so, yeah, when I finally got my ego out of the way, and I finally accepted that, hey, you know what? The fact that I'm not able to progress past this point is a sign that I'm just actually not as capable as I first thought. And I accepted that, and I had the humility to start where I was. Well, that's the point when I started to rapidly progress. And that's ultimately what's led me, so in terms of fear and fear of visibility, led me to be able to walk down the beach hosting a live and not concern myself with what people are thinking of me, this random person just walking down the beach talking to himself. Which, to some of you, it probably seems pretty pathetic, right? It probably seems quite pathetic that just doing this relatively simple task, it would be such a problem. But I can tell you, it was a big problem. It was something that I avoided for years and years. And I'm only just at that point now where I'm like, okay, this is something that I'm afraid of. This is something that I have been avoiding. And therefore, this is something that I need to address. And this is an area that I can grow from and grow in. And and it's motivating as well. It's really motivating when you start to realize that you're more capable than you first thought, that you can handle situations far better than you first thought, and that's like, it becomes like an upward spiral where one little win moves you on to the next win and the next win and the next win, and it's a very cool thing to start to experience. So I really encourage you, if there's something that you're avoiding because you're afraid, then maybe you need to place a little more focus there. Maybe that's something that you could learn from and grow from. All right, I'll finish the live there, and I'm going to go over and do a live on TikTok now as I walk down into the more populated areas of the beach. But that is me for the day. I hope you've enjoyed. I would love to hear any of your questions. Love to hear what you're struggling with. What's the thing that you're avoiding? What's the thing that you're afraid of that you could work on? Let me know in the comments, and maybe we can continue to grow and expand and improve ourselves together. All right, I'll see you next time. Peace.